Gucci YouTube, Lola me. Tower God chapter 368. And we see in this one, Kun Edan is about to teach Bam, well, he's trying to teach Bam how to control his Shinsu. Because apparently among the really special ones, they have a different type of quality of Shinsu. And he also tells Bam a little about his father. He calls him V. He just calls him V. And he says if Kuni Dan tells Bam's like if he had to choose anybody out of, the companions that climbed the tower with them back then, if he had to choose any of them to be the king, he would have chose Bam's father to be the king. Like he doesn't know what happened with V, but he just knows V somehow died one day. But and he said V and Jahad were complete opposites. V took interest in all the residents in the tower, and Jahad, much like the rest of them, whenever they gained more power, they pretty much kind of stopped caring about other people like that. They didn't have sympathy or I guess empathy for people other than people like with the same amount of power as they did, which is no, that's I guess that's just the leaders of the 10 great families. But yeah, we see Marco Asensio. He tells his father like, or his father tells Asensio, Kun Edan tells Asensio, like we're not gonna be able to meet up with y'all, so just go and complete the quest. And Senzio's just like, okay, father, we'll go ahead and try to get the mirror at the end for by ourselves, because apparently the mirror at the end is able to delete Jihad's data like altogether. Like originally, I guess the mirror at the end was for all the regulars that beat the hidden floor. They would be returned to the train, but I guess if a regular data person tried to escape the hidden floor, trying to get to the outside, then the mirror at the end would just completely erase their data, like altogether. They wouldn't even exist, even in the hidden on the hidden floor. So they're trying to get that. They're trying to steal that and bring it there, so they can delete Jahad's data. And as soon as Asensio says that to Sachi and Boro, Big Breeder comes like, oh, so y'all were trying to get the mirror at the end. It's a good thing I was a one step ahead of y'all then. And then we see the bull looking Big Breeder, and then we see Bam sworn enemy, which is himself, I guess Juvile Grace. See him, and he just he tries to drop meteors on him or whatever, and then we see old girl with the blue hair. I forgot her name, but we see her. She just completely eviscerates the boulders and was like, at one point in time, you tried to take that power and become an administrator and use it as you wish, but you're out of control or whatever. Then we see back to Kun Edan and Bam. They're just talking. Well, Bam asked Kun if he wanted, spend some time with his father, but Kun was just like, forget it. I don't know what happened back then, but he's just a stranger to me right now, so it doesn't really matter. And then, like I said, Kun Edan, he's telling Bam about his father, or whatever, as well as the Shinsu control, because Edan said he had like three different type quality of Shinsu control, and he said he don't know how many more he'll find out in the future. So right now he's just trying to tell Bam to find out what your quality is right now, and then he says once you find out that quality, you'll be able to uh internalize it, kind of like he does in Jahad, because Jahad did the same thing with his black hole Shinsu sphere. Instead of, because Bam, I guess he throws his, but Jahad, he took it and internalized it for more power, and Edan said when you do that, that's internal quality Shinsu control, and then if you external obviously is on the outside, but if you internalize it, get more power, kind of like the lightning pill that Kun's little brother was using. And he said, and Edan said, it was like, oh, so you know about the lightning pill? It's it's something similar, but it's a little bit more. The lightning pill is a little bit more dangerous, and it's not really good to use because as we see when his little brother used it, he was only good for maybe like one or two attacks, and then he was completely drained after that. Like he couldn't do anything else, so he had to make sure he hit his target when he used that lightning pill. So I guess what Edan's trying to teach Bam is like you'll be able to use it more, and it won't damage you as much as the lightning pill does. So yeah, the internal quality manifested, I believe that's what they called it. And he says, I want you kind of like my electric spear. And he throws out that big spear that he used like, when he fought Jahad a couple chapters ago. And he says, what your assignment right now is to create a pretty much that shape, that spear shape, like he does with his electricity. So he tells Bam like, don't worry about the black hole Shinsu sphere. You can use that after you figure out what type of quality Shinsu you have, and then once you turn that into a bang, it gives them more power. And I guess when it explodes, so Bam's literally getting teached by one of the leaders of the 10 great families. So he's about to hit God mode real quick. So yeah, he might. Like I said, we don't know how strong Jihad is because he was probably just just messing around when he was messing with them. But but then again, we don't know how strong Edan is either. So, but because he is one of the 10 great family leaders, so he's got to be ridiculously strong. So we'll see how this turns out in the next chapter. It's getting good now. So and Jihad had went to trying to be Mr. Sneaky, tried to go to Edan's palace of spears or whatever to try to kill his kids, but I guess they were too smart for that, and they all dispersed. And so, like, his sister and Asensio, they're, like I said, they're about to fight Big Breeder. And Jahad, I think Jahad said he was going after his kids, so we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully, nobody dies, but then again, hey, you gotta remember, they're just data right now. So, and we don't really know how, and we don't where the hell Rachel is. And didn't Karaka somehow make it into the hidden floor? Like, where is he at? Or maybe he got stuck back on the train. I don't know. I think Yuri might have stopped him from getting back on the train. I don't remember. Probably have to go back and read that. But yeah, man, it's getting real interesting. Tower God, chapter 368, and like the story, like it's so deep in the story right now. I feel like we're not even halfway through because I believe one chapter they said they're like once you get to a certain floor, you have to find a key to unlock the levels that are higher than that floor. So it's like how many floors on this tower is there? So and then we're just finally figuring out who Bam's father is. We still don't know his name, but we're actually getting some backstory on that. And man, like this is crazy. And we still got to figure out who's gonna get the that other piece of the thorn between Bam and Rachel. Like, oh man, that's so much that's gotta be explained, and I'm here for every bit of it, and I hope y'all are too. But yeah, man, like, comment, subscribe, share, so other like-minded people like us talk about it in the comments below. What do y'all think about everything that's going on right now? And where exactly in the story are we? Like, what percentage of the story do y'all think we're at right now? 'Cause like I said, I don't think we're like even halfway done. But which is saying a lot because that's like we're almost 400 chapters in, and for me to say that, it's like wow. But yeah, man. It's Lord I Mink the Emperor. Um, and I'm out.